For day 2 of Physics Week, I've tracked down radiotherapy dosimetrist Chris Stones, who's been working at the Leeds Cancer Centre for 7 years. He's going to tell us about the role he plays in planning radiotherapy treatments for our patients and the measures he takes to ensure that we can provide the optimal treatment for each patient. So Chris, thanks for being with us, and please tell us more about how you do your planning.
So thanks, Catherine. Each of our patients' plans are individualised to those patients' needs, and the start of their journey with us is a CT scan. Now the CT scan that we take of the patient not only gives us the information visually on screen that we can see where the tumour is, but it also gives us information that we need to be able to know how the radiation is going to interact and deliver the dose to the patient. So that tissue density that we get also enables us to do that. So visually we get the doctors to outline the areas that we're interested in. So as you can see on here, we have several things that have been outlined. We've got the blue, the green and the red, and these are what we call our planning target volumes, and that's the area that the doctors wish to receive the dose. You can also see on here we've got another area which is our spinal cord, and that's an area that we call an organ at risk, and that's a normal tissue in close proximity to the tumour or the target volume that we need to reduce the dose to. So by minimising the dose to that, we can ensure that they don't have any side effects or minimal side effects from the treatment. We need to ensure that we deliver the dose to this region here and reduce dose there, and that's how our treatment planning systems do that.
So I'm a bit confused. Is this still the skull? Is it a slice through the skull?
So this is the overall treatment. As you can probably tell, this is a head, and this is just a slice through that. So we're approximately at this level here, and we've got a 3D image that we work on. So we don't just work on just one slice. We travel throughout the patient.
Wow. Getting
the dose. So we have to deliver the dose throughout this and be aware of how this is being delivered for the whole volume, not just at one shot at that point.
That's amazing. And so what's this light blue here?
So this light blue here is the GTV, that's the gross tumour volume. So that's the actual tumour itself. So we have the tumour and we have margins around the tumour that account for any areas of the tumour that we can't visualise on the CT scan. So that could be any microscopic disease or any areas that is likely to be spread. So that if there's tumour that potentially could spread to another area, we need to make sure we include that to ensure that we don't have any recurrence of the patient.
So it sounds like you need to tailor the treatment so that you kill all the cancer cells but spare as much of the healthy tissue as possible.
Yeah.
And are there any special techniques that can be used to do that?
Yes, at Leeds Cancer Centre we try to be on the cutting edge of technology and techniques with our patients, and one of the latest developments is what we call VMAT, and that's volumetric modulated arc therapy, a bit of a mouthful. Basically what that does is it has the patient on the bed as we line them up, and the treatment machine, which is called a linear accelerator, it moves around the patient in a continuous motion and it delivers dose for the entire time. And that reduces the amount of time that the patient's on the bed. It gives us the opportunity to increase the amount of radiation we deliver to the target volumes, whilst also minimising the amount of dose to the normal tissue and the healthy tissue within that region. It's a lot faster for the patients and they're on the bed for a lot less time. Now, to ensure that we deliver that accurately, our linear accelerators have a type of CT attached to the machine. It's called a cone beam CT, and what that does is it moves around the patient, again similar to the actual treatment, and it delivers the low energy X-rays, which gives us another CT image, and we can overlay those images and ensure that we are in the exact same position. If you look at this
really
image
interesting.
Here, this image here shows us an actual plan. So we've got 2 target volumes. This is for a prostate patient, so this is the pelvis. You can see the hip bones here. We have a target volume here in the dark blue, and then we have a smaller one in the orange. And they have the bladder and the rectum, and these are the 2 main areas that we need to avoid on this one. And as you can see, we delivered the dose throughout this patient whilst maintaining the coverage in this bit but minimising the dose elsewhere, and that reduces side effects for the patients, makes it more comfortable for them to have their treatment.
Thank you so much, Chris. I've learned so much in 5 minutes. Cheers for your time.
Cheers.